Europe's over-tourism problem is growing by the year. Slovenia, Montenegro, Albania, these countries were all considered hidden gems not that long ago. In the age of social media, keeping travel destinations a secret is nearly impossible. So are there any countries left on the continent that are worth visiting that tourists have not already made popular? I found 5 countries that fit both those requirements. Let's get into it. Starting off with North Macedonia, a country that is relatively young as it did not become a country until 1991. If you ask people on the street which countries border heavily visited Greece, very few would be able to guess North Macedonia sits on its northern border. As it is a landlocked country, many people prefer to go to its neighbors sitting on the Mediterranean. While that is alluring, it means many people skip North Macedonia, and that is reflected in the reasonable prices the country has to offer, as well as the lack of crowds. Its capital, Skopje, has changed a lot over the years. It went over a massive makeover in 2014 to reflect the region's ancient history, with hundreds of neoclassical statues and fountains, including a massive statue of Alexander the Great on a horse. The city also has old bazaars, giving an interesting blend of Ottoman, Greek, and Balkan influences. Even though the country is not on the Mediterranean, it boasts one of the nicest lakes in all of Europe in Lake Ohrid. It is one of the oldest lakes in the world and one of the clearest. The town is also reminiscent of other lakeside southern European towns with its terracotta red tile rooftops. That combined with its ancient churches and cobblestone streets, it can give you a nice southern European vacation without the prices of Italy or Greece. If you really want a quiet European vacation, those 2 countries don't give you much of a chance nowadays, but North Macedonia might just be able to do that. From Europe's southeast to northeast, our next country is Estonia. This is the smallest country in this region of Europe, but it is worth visiting if you are in the Baltic region. Tallinn is the city most people visit as it is a port many Baltic cruises stop by. I have not been here in a while, so it is possible it has changed since, but when I visited I found it to be a quiet and great place to spend a day or two. It is extremely walkable and has architecture that captures Europe as well as some of the larger countries on the continent. One thing that has changed about European tourism is how it is a lot harder to find cities where it snows during the holiday season. Tallinn is a city where it does snow more often than not during the holiday season, and thanks to the city's fairy tale features and impressive Christmas markets, it should be high on anyone's list traveling to Europe for the holidays. If you were looking for an even less crowded and cheaper place to visit, its southern neighbor Latvia fits the bill. I slightly prefer Estonia, but they are both worth visiting in my opinion. Next we have Estonia's neighbor across the Gulf, Finland. Now even though plenty of people visit Finland every year, it is still less crowded than its neighbors Sweden and Norway, which is why I have it on this list. While Europe is known for its old, charming cities, Helsinki is a city that invites a nice change of pace as one that maintains its Nordic roots while also being one of the best cities on the continent for food, culture, and education through its modern feel. While you can probably get all of that in Sweden and Norway, I actually prefer Finland over either of them. Finland also has its famous Lapland region, which is a great place to see northern lights and is a special place to be in during the winter. While there is so much to do in this region, it is becoming increasingly famous for its Santa Claus village. This video is about avoiding the crowd, so I should mention that place is experiencing some heavy tourist numbers during the Christmas season, and it is definitely no longer a secret. Next up we have Wales. This is our only Western European country on the list. Even though that side of the continent is heavily trafficked, Wales is a country with far fewer tourists than its neighbor England. I visited Wales last year after going to London, and I found myself wishing I spent more time in Wales. Its capital Cardiff has great culture while feeling much more intimate than some of the other Western European capitals. Led by Cardiff Castle, it is considered the city of castles as it has the most castles of any city in the world. As great as Cardiff is, I found myself most impressed by Snowdonia National Park. It is the largest mountain in either Wales or England and has some staggering peaks and valleys. With all of the country's stunning views and castles, I think Wales is one of the best countries to simply rent a car and drive around in. While England and Scotland get more tourists per year, don't forget about Great Britain's country in the west. Last but not least, we have Poland. There can be some crowds during the summer in tourist areas in Krakow, but other than that, it is a country that does not have a ton of international visitors each year. The Rynek Główny, the main market square, is one of the largest medieval squares in Europe and rivals anything you'd see in Vienna or Munich. Wrocław and Warsaw are a couple of more cities worth visiting, but one of the coolest places to go in Poland is the Białowieża forest. Europe is an area on Earth that has been built on all over by humanity with non-stop development and countless wars, but the Białowieża forest is one of the last remaining forests on the continent that is untouched by humans. There are even bison in the forest that nearly went extinct and can really only be found in this region when it comes to Europe. It is also a biosphere reserve and on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Hidden gems don't stay hidden forever, but these 5 still have some time left. Please let me know in the comments below what countries you think are underrated, and thanks for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. I will talk to you next week.